Yeah, this gives you some idea of the closeness of the working environment that they'll be in. I'm 6'2" when I'm standing up, and as you can see, I'm having to bend down quite a long way to walk around in this scenario. Now, this is very similar to the situation that we'll be seeing in Soma. It's a labour-intensive mine, and something like this is very much what the rescue operation are going to be facing, although, of course, this is a very sterile environment at the moment. We're seeing a training session later on here today, but it just gives you an idea of the close working conditions and how difficult it's going to be, even under a normal scenario. Andrew Watson here from the Mining Rescue Centre. Just tell us, what sort of problems are they going to be facing? Obviously, this looks clear, visibility is good at the moment. That's not going to be the case over in Turkey, is it?
Well, the first thing is the huge loss of information. The explosion, the fire would have damaged the infrastructure of the mine, and they'll have lost the information on the surface, and the way they counter that is to get rescue personnel in there. That rescue personnel will be in roadways this size, very confined. They'll be working through smoke, they'll also be working through heat and humidity. The explosion and the power of that explosion will have created problems for them. There could be roof falls, there will certainly be machinery damage. The machinery will have been moved about the mine, making all of this difficult for the rescue teams to travel through. And it's just physically going through the smoke and dealing with the heat and humidity.
And it'll be incredibly physically demanding, but how are they going to find the people who need rescuing, those who maybe aren't conscious, maybe aren't able to call out in the midst of all that smoke and debris?
The mine would have a deployment, and they'll be building up a picture. I mean, the focus will still be on getting live people out of that mine. So they will be noting where they find fatalities, etc., but they'll be moving on as quick as they can to try and find the live casualties. And as the information builds up on the surface, the people looking at the mine plan will focus in on areas where potentially miners have barricaded themselves in, and that creates a focus for the rescue.
And in terms of the dangers, the main dangers down there, lack of oxygen, lack of visibility?
It's all of these things, as you say, but the biggest concern will be the build-up in methane again and another explosion, and they need to be careful that they control what's happening in that mine to make sure it never, ever gets to that dangerous level again.
OK, well, we'll just have one last look inside here, if you follow me in, just again to give you an idea of the close working conditions here. And if you can imagine something similar to this, but filled with potentially toxic fumes, filled with a lot of coal dust, a lack of oxygen, an incredible lack of visibility. This is the sort of mining equipment that will have been moved around potentially in the blast. It's very heavy to move, very difficult to work around. We can see the debris here. This will all be used in the scenario later on today. We'll be able to show you in more detail just exactly what techniques and systems are used to remove people from dangerous situations like this. But in terms of the rescue operation that's going on in that Turkish mine at the moment, there are still something like 200 people trapped there. This operation could go on for some time, depending on whereabouts those people are in the mine, whether they've been cut off, whether they're able to get to them, and whether those oxygen supplies can last.